Hello everyone, GeneralApple here with the house in Fata Morgana, part 24. And on the last video, we finally finished getting the first key and finished the first day at that. And now we were just about to begin the second day. I'm pretty sure just reaching to the beast or trying to speak with him. So I wonder how that will turn out. But yeah, last episode we just spoke to Mel and his sister and we turned Mel over to our side. So pretty sure there's some good tidings up ahead. But now, we have to tame the beast. Oh god. 2 days until her death. Surely, it would be an easy task. Wake up. Come on. Wake up, please. Come on, up with you. Who's that? Oh, it's Mel. Okay, thank god. I thought this was someone that shouldn't be there for a second. Oh, thank goodness. You were out so good, I was scared you might be dead for a minute. Good morning. How are you feeling? What? Huh? Why are you looking at me like you just kicked your cat? It's incredible how much more pleasant it is to be awoken by a woman than a boy. That's the thanks I get for waking you up? Or did I interrupt a nice dream? Ha, I did, didn't I? And it was a dirty dream too, I bet. You definitely seem like a minded a gutter kind of guy. Bruh, I will murder you. Whoa, whoa, let's not be hasty. Now, you said you were going to help me out. That doesn't sound very helpful. And the worst part is how similar his wake-up call was to Giselle. I'm just kidding. And you know, I can get up on my own. Fair enough, I guess. Though, put yourself in my shoes for a sec. I came in and you were still as a corpse. It startled me enough I took your pulse. He touched me while I was sleeping. It was faint, but it was there. That's wonderful news. They're handing out breakfast in the dining hall. You can go get a plate yourself if you want to. It's just some bread and wine though. Dining hall? There's quite the crowd, all the people here helping with festival prep, so you should probably hurry if you want to get some. Hold on, I need a minute. My mind's still waking up. Huh. First off, I thought you said the church wasn't offering boarding at the moment, so why a dining hall? Ah, right, it's not, but they do still offer breakfast. For free, of course. I see. Now, what do you mean by festival prep? As I mentioned yesterday, the heart of the Harvest Festival is here at the church, but it's a city-wide event. There are all sorts of supplies that need to be purchased, decoration, made and put up, that sort of things. So, we've got volunteers from the city to help. I see. I believe today they are supposed to be putting up decoration outside the chapel, so the courtyard should be a bustle. The courtyard? Ah, yeah. Less court, more yard, really. We passed through it on our way here yesterday. Alright, I think I know what you're referring to. So, as long as I'm here, I don't have much of a choice to help with the prep. I'd honestly rather set Morgana free right now, but the other two are bound to find out if either of us do anything too conspicuous. So for now, I should stick to my routine, at least where people can see me. That would be the smart thing to do. Yeah. Anyway, let me know when you're planning on doing anything. If there's anything I can do to help, I will. I'll let you know. Okay, well, I should get going. See you later, I guess. Mel, do you know where I could find a nun? Her? She should be in the dining hall. Thank you. And the other two? The Lord and his bodyguard. They're only around early mornings and night, so I doubt either of them are here right now. Why only then? That's when we go up into the tower. Though, even if they were on the property, you wouldn't be able to just walk up and talk to them. Especially not the Lord. Also, I don't keep track on where they go or what they do. Sorry. I don't really want to know what they're up to. So I've kept my distance. Understandable. Thank you, anyway. See you later. He's holding it together fairly well, all things considered. Finally resolving to do something about Morgana took a big weight off his shoulder, I guess. Oh, Giselle. Good morning, Michelle. Morning. It's a bit soon to be feeling relieved, I think. There's still work to be done before Mel can face Morgana. That first step is still a big one, though. At least for him. I suppose. Anyway, it sounds like the Lord is going to be difficult to make contact with, which is what I was afraid of. Our only opportunities are when he's here to feed Morgana. Mel did say he didn't keep close tabs on the two of them, so there might be more than just that. First priority is getting you fed, though. So off to the dining hall we go. Out of curiosity, did you sleep at all? I haven't been sleepy once since I became the maid. But I'm used to it, so don't worry about me. You said, you see what I'm seeing during darkness, didn't you? That's what it looked like, at least. Which means when my eyes are closed, she has no light at all? Maybe I shouldn't have gone to sleep after all. I know what you're thinking, Michelle. And no, you're wrong. You need your sleep. You won't have the energy to do anything if you don't keep yourself well rested and nourished. You're right. We should get going. To the dining hall. Alright. Hey, it's the fireplace! I make my way through the halls to the room with the fireplace, the area I used to as a living room, and the area currently serving as a dining hall. Sitting in the center of the room is a long table lined with bread and wine. Standing behind the table and handing out food to the long line of people is the nun. This being a church, no one is speaking especially loudly, but there's still an indistinct buzz hanging in the air as dozens of people whisper back and forth. The majority of people in the room look poor, like they genuinely need the assistance, but there are a handful of those who look more than well off. That's a lot more people than I was expecting. They don't turn anyone away, which, as I recall from Morgana account, nearly drained the church of everything it had once. They don't seem to be for want of supplies at the moment, though. I assume that's thanks to the Lord patronage. Most likely, yes. In any event, I doubt we're getting anywhere near her in the mornings. She looks like she got her hands full. That doesn't change the fact that we need to speak with her. I'm going to try squeeze past the crowd. What? Oh, she said something? What? Wait a second. Hey now, no cutting a line, young man. We've been waiting since dawn. Please let me through. I have business with a nun. I ain't letting you through just cause you told me to. This is important. No more important than any of our business. Our lives depend on this food. So get your tail at the back of the line. Here we go. What seems to be the trouble? Could I ask for a moment of your time? I need to speak with you. Well, as you can see, I'm a bit occupied. I won't take much of your time, I promise. But it's very important, you. Give it a rest already, young man. Can't you see she ain't interested? Give me a hand getting this guy out of here, fellas. What? Wait. Just don't get rough, okay? Of course, our sentence. Pick it up, young man. You need some time outside to cool off. Stop. Watch the hair. Oh, God. He got kicked out. That went extraordinarily well. You know, Michelle, sometimes I can't decide whether you're calculated or reckless. And now I realize I never got that bread. We should wait and try to talk to the nun when she's not so busy. She has to have some free time during the day. You're right. What do you say we take a look around the mansion while we're waiting? Who knows? Maybe we'll run into someone else. Alright. Don't let it get to you. As Mel had said it would be, the mansion was packed compared to yesterday, and most everyone I saw appeared to be excited for the upcoming Harvest Festival. A number of them even greeted me as we passed in the halls. They were so nonchalant about it, I wasn't quite sure how to react. I was amazed that anyone, let alone multiple people, would treat me so normally, considering how far from normal I looked. There were a few surprised looks, of course, but no one called me a demon or an angel based solely on my appearance. Perhaps they were just used to seeing people of all different colors around the city, so they had an easier time accepting the way I looked. No matter what the reason though, it was quite nice being treated normal. That's true, nobody actually thought he was a demon. After meandering through the mansion for a while, I make my way to the chapel. Despite knowing I have no way into the tower, part of me still wants to be near it. So I head around to the back of the side of the podium, where the stained glass window towers over me. It's the same as I remember. I've always loved this window. It makes me feel like I've got an angel watching over me. Had I been given a different name, maybe I would feel the same. That said, I don't dislike it as much as I used to. I'm glad to hear it. Ah, there it is, the door. Off to the side, at the very back of the room, is the door leading to the observation tower. It's chained shut, though, that's no surprise. The lock is the same one as I saw back in the mansion, but the chains are just regular chains. They're not glowing with that awful black light, they're simply dull and gray. Huh, if only I had an axe, then we could just chop off the door right down. I don't think an axe would help. If it were wood, maybe, but this is metal, and rather heavy at that. You never know, hidden enough and anything will break eventually. We'd be in chains ourselves long before we made it through this door. What are you doing there? Ah. Oh, Tsukimasa. It's him. I was under the impression you and the Lord were only around mornings and nights. And why would you know that? Oops. Who are you? He's getting suspicious, Michelle. I'll take care of it. I'm a friend of Mel's. A friend? Of his? Does that surprise you? Bar your bowl-cut head Never once I've seen a friend of his before. He has plenty of friends, I'm sure. No one has had an opportunity to pay him a visit, that's all. Never mind the boy's social dealings. Was he the one who told you my schedule? That I work for the Lord? I've got to be careful about what I say here, or is he going to start getting suspicious of Mel? I asked him. Asked him what? I heard some talk around town saying the Lord was seen coming in and out of this estate on more than one occasion. Naturally, that caught my attention. A lowly peasant like myself almost never had the opportunity to cross paths with the Lord. So hearing he was a regular visitor here, I was hoping to have the honor of catching a glance at him. When I asked Mel about the Lord, he mentioned he had a bodyguard, which got me wondering, what kind of person would someone so distinguished entrust his life to? Isn't it? Dig around too much and you're liable to end up in the ground yourself. So he told you I was the Lord bodyguard? Was he not supposed to, for some reason? No, it's true, I am his bodyguard. The question is, how did you know it was me? It wasn't difficult. You rather stand out from the crowd. And you literally always walk with your hand on your sheath, King. From Mel's description, I was able to recognize you almost immediately. If our roles were reversed, you would have similarly little trouble identifying me from a short description. The only thing distinct about me is my race. Where do you come from, if I may ask? Beyond the Silk Road. From the east, then. What country? Is that any of your concern? No, I'm just curious. Why is your hair white? Why are your eyes red? They're naturally that color. Is that so? Nature can be quite a ball and chain. Is it just me, or does it sound like he's sympathizing with you? It's hard to say. Honestly, I'm still having trouble reading him. Either way, it sounds like he bought your explanation. So it does, which is a relief. Now, what business do you have with this door? The door was not my objective. I came to look at the stained glass window. I happened to notice a door with an unusual lock off the side, so I get curious and went to look it up close. The area behind the pulpit is off limits. I was unaware. Maybe I'll have to put some ropes up then. Why is it off limits though? Is that any of your concern? No, but the way you're talking about it has piqued my curiosity. Do you not know how to keep your nose out of places it doesn't belong? Get out of here, and don't come back. As you wish. Hold on. Yes? Your name? Michelle. Michelle. Almost the same as the angel there. That would be because I was named after him. I see. What an unfortunate name. I despise angels. May I ask what yours is? I have no name. You don't have... What do you... No, never mind. Farewell. Well, we already know his name. Tsuyukimasa. Oh, wow. That was scary. He does not want anyone near that door, huh? I thought he was going to pull his sword on you. I wonder, would I die if he tried to kill me? There aren't many people who could get away with a blade like that, especially in his hand, unarmed. You're probably right. Having already died once, the idea of doing so again feels wrong, somehow. You managed to talk him down, though. I'm surprised. You're quite the accomplished liar, Michelle. Is that so? It's so hard to believe that was the same awkward, stuttering Michelle I know and love. Am I really that much of a bumbling fool normally? I wonder what he was doing back there, though. It's well past dawn. Standing watch, presumably? With as many people as there are roaming about, he's probably worried about people, like me, getting near that door. I doubt he plans on spending much time anywhere else until the festival's over. And with him on guard, we've got pretty much no access to the door. I sure hope we can talk him over to our side. Mel was never an enthusiastic accomplice. His guilt is what allowed us to win him over and get him to confess everything. On the other hand, he's not likely to be so forthcoming. It all depends on how deep his ties to the nun are. Presumably, she's the reason he's involved. That said, we managed to communicate well enough. Are you still sore that I called you awkward? No, I don't mean me. I mean him. What? Oh, he was from rational or coherent when he was living with you in the mansion. You're right. He doesn't seem like a completely different person here. Does seem like a completely different person here. Losing his memory in the shipwreck was probably what triggered his transformation into the beast. So I guess this must be what he was like before that. What he carries inside him is no different now than it was then. He's simply able to hold himself in equilibrium now. He's keeping a balance between his rational human side and his violent beast side. He does somewhat remind me of Beastia during his short period of calm. That, or the glimpse we got of him on the ship while he was still a merchant. I would say that's probably closer to the man here now. Ah, the ship. You are the one who showed me the memory. What? I have no recollection of that. Whoa! Oh, that's kind of big. She don't remember the part with the ship? Okay. Oh yeah, you also mentioned seeing another woman memories behind the second door, didn't you? Wait a second. From outside the mansion. Pauline? So she doesn't know about that? Whoa, that's kind of big. So she doesn't know about Pauline because we watched from her point of view. Okay, that's interesting. You didn't see them though, as I recall? All I'm aware is of what took place within the mansion, as well as whatever Morgana felt like telling me. Resonation? What? Nothing. Morgana mentioned something about me resonating. I don't know why I would be capable of such a thing, but because of what it allowed me to see, it's all but impossible for me to ignore the plight of these people. Anyway, the point is, however rational he may appear, we mustn't forget that it's not the whole picture. He's as much a killer in this life as he was in his next. He's a man of many faces. The gentleman he was around his lover, the brutal, merciless man he was on the ship, and the beast that lurked beneath it all. Everyone acts differently depending on who they're around. But there's something unsettling about how he does it. I do wonder what he meant when he said he had no name. As I recall, he was from somewhere far, far away in the second door. And he looks Asian here too. Oh, they just straight up said it. So maybe he's from the same country. He said he crossed the Silk Road to the eastern end of the continent, presumably. I wonder if he has the same name or not. It was an unusual name. Oh, what was it? Ukulele? Oh, no. Hell no. You didn't just say that, Giselle. Shame on you. Ukulele. No, that wasn't it. It was eucalyptus, I believe. Oh my days. Oh my days. I get the feeling that we're both wrong and I'm further off than her. It's not the kind of name we're used to hearing or saying. Hopefully we'll be able to get it out of him. Hopefully. But for the time being, we should go looking for the nun. I imagine she doesn't have her hands quite as full by now. Probably not. To the courtyard we go then. Guys, it's literally Yukimasa. Shame on you. Wow, the crowd just keeps on growing. Are they all helping with the decoration? It would seem so. Preparation for the festival is in full force. Ah, I found the nun. She's over there. She's got a bunch of people around her though. What should we do? I'll force my way through. How about plan B this time? Michelle! Are you alright, Michelle? You went down pretty hard. Nelly! Oh, you're such a weakling, dearest Michelle. I don't weigh that much. Not enough to knock you over jumping on your back. You gave me no time to brace myself. Pish posh, my Mel would have had no problem catching me, and then he would have spun me around like a princess at a ball. Unreasonable doesn't even begin to describe your expectations. Are you sure you should be running around like that? I thought you were in a rather poor health. Amazingly, I'm actually feeling pretty good, and I haven't had any medicine today. Maybe because I cleared things up with Mel yesterday? I cried my eyes out last night, but I feel better now. I'm glad to hear it. They do say health is much as mental as it is physical, so you might keep getting better if you stay positive. Just don't push yourself. Why thank you for your concern, my dearest Michelle. She's taken quite a liking to you. How do you like that? It's nice, isn't it? I'm not sure how to react. Oh, just go along with it. You know what you want. I wish I could be there too. I want to pat that sweet little head of hers. What do you think, she is a cat? Now that she's opened up though, I will admit she is rather sweet. Oh, there you are, Nelly. Don't run off like that. You scared me. It's not my fault that you lose sight of me, dearest Mel. I'll try to keep better eye on you. So you came to check out the courtyard, Michelle. You know, you really stand out from the crowd. You're so pale, I could tell it was you from way off in the distance. I'm well aware of how conspicuous I am. But everyone's acting so unconcerned, it's honestly kind of disconcerting. I can't say people don't think you look unusual, but no one's afraid of you or anything. It's not easy looking different from everyone else, is it? It comes with its disadvantages, yes. And she would have had to deal with the same things. That's another thing I regret. I wish I could have treated her more like a regular person. I guess I just wasn't mature enough to accept her. You spent much of your life in a very sheltered environment, so it's only human that you would have difficulty accepting something that didn't fit within your view of the world. That doesn't make you a bad person. Regardless, you did treat her like a regular person. That's the reason she accepted your invitation to go on walks. I guess. Question. Do you know what she looks like, right? I do. What did you think the first time you saw it? I know that's not the most tactful question, but I thought nothing of it. I simply saw her as a person, as a girl. I see. Well, what do you know? It looks like I'm the bad guy. And you're right, Saint. No, I'm simply seen much worse. You know, you kind of remind me of her. I do? I mean, you're much more personable than her, but... Oh, what's the word? It's just not the way you look. But there's something a little different than everyone else about you. Like an aura or something. I'm not sure. He knows. Oh, I'm sorry if I offended you. I wasn't trying to insult you or anything. But I mean, like yesterday, you were talking like a prophet. I'm almost beginning to think that maybe you really did see a vision from God. Enough with all the grown-up talk already. You lost me ages ago. Ah, yes, sorry. Who cares if Michel is a saint or a prophet, or the archangel himself? Michel is my second brother. Besides, he doesn't look all that weird to me. The saintess is probably just an ordinary girl too. I'm big enough now that I won't think badly of her no matter what she looks like. You are, yeah. Hey, and when she's free and feeling better again, maybe we can get together and bake something. That would be lots of fun. She'll forgive you, I'm sure of it. You know, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this so loudly. Wouldn't want anyone to overhear us. Oh, right. Sorry. But everyone's so busy prepping for the festival, I'm sure we'll be fine. Better safe than sorry, though. As you say, dearest Mel. So, Michelle, are you here to help with prep? No, I was hoping I could find some time to talk with the nun. With all the people coming and going, she's going to have her hands full until the festival starts. Well, that's unfortunate. It is that important you want to talk to her, with her? She may be able to give us information that could assist in acquiring the second key. The second key? You're not saying she's involved too, are you? By my estimation, she doesn't know anything. She is, however, very much connected to the swordman. Much like you acted to help your sister, I believe the nun is his driving force. Are you serious? I found that hard to believe. I mean, she's such a loving, charitable woman. And he's, well, a savage brute. A murderer. It has to be her, though. Have you seen the two of them acting particularly close? Never. She's kind to everyone. I've seen them talking once or twice, sure. But she wasn't acting any differently than she does around anyone else. It certainly didn't seem like they had anything going on. Maybe they're hiding it. Surely there's something between them. Well, we know there is. I would certainly presume so. Nuns aren't allowed to be romantically involved, so they could be having a secret tryst. Ooh, you're on the money, Nelly. A forbidden romance. How exciting. Ha. So you need to talk with her then, Michelle. Leave it to me. You can do it? Well, right now she's showing people how to make the decorations. Waving straws into crowns and flowers and other things. I know how to make them too, so I can take her place teaching for a little. I appreciate it, but if anyone should be offering to help, it's me. There's a bunch of them already done. It's like over there, hanging off the tree branches. Can you make those? They're very intricately designed. You'd have to be really good at weaving to make those, let alone teach other people how. You should take her up on her offer. You're right. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated. You got it. I'll let her know you want to talk, so just hold tight. And you, dearest Mel, are coming with me. You get to help make decoration. I'm no good at this stuff, though. No, I said you're coming, and that's all there is to it. With me as your teacher, you'll be a pro in no time. Yeah, alright. You win. Let's go. Nelly seems to be in good shape, and it doesn't look like last night caused any problem for them. I'm relieved. Hopefully, they can continue down this path. They'll be fine, I'm sure. I pray that they will be. Now, we should have a little time before the nun is available to talk, so I would really like to find some shade. Is it pretty bright out today? I thought you could see through my eyes. I can, yes, I can see what's going on, just not as clearly as you. Not enough to tell how strong the sun is, for example. I see. Are you alright? I'm fine. I say, but the backs of my eyes are starting to hurt. 2 days now with hardly a cloud in sight. Yeah, it's supposed to be very difficult for him. He was exposed to the sun for far too long. What is this? Oh, there she is. There you are. I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long. No, no worries. I apologize for pulling you away from your duties at such a busy time. After that little surprise this morning, I figured you must really have something you want to say. I do. Something very important. And if possible, I would like to discuss it with you somewhere more private. Let me guess, you're going to propose to me? Now, you should know better than that. I'm a servant of God, the Father. He is the only companion I'm permitted to have. I know, I just want to... I know, I'm just kidding. I just want to tease you a bit. Shame on you. I can be away for very long though, alright? I will do my best to keep it short. Okay, let's head inside and find a room then. After you. She's so trusting. May I ask you something, Giselle? What? Yes, what is it? Is there something about me that makes people want to tease me? No, not at all. What would ever give you that idea? If you say so. Oh, God. Clueless. But that's why we love him. Alright, you have my undivided attention. Make yourself comfortable and speak whenever you're ready. I'm here to help those in need. My ears are at your service. The good, the bad, the ugly. Tell me anything and everything. You're a nun. You should probably be a little more particular with your conversation topics. Huh? What's wrong? Nothing. I actually want to talk to you rather than myself. And talk about you rather than myself. About me? You, or the people you associate with, I suppose. Are you acquaintance with that Asian swordman? The Lord's bodyguard? I mean, I know of him, but I can't say I know terribly much about him. What? I was under the impression you were quite intimate with him. Did someone tell you we were? No, that was just the feeling I had. Remember, I'm a nun. Whatever you think you saw, you were probably imagining. I'm not allowed to give any man special treatment, let alone be intimate with one. There is something between you two, though. What do you mean, something between us? Maybe you should try telling her what we know about him here. His primary motivation is to keep her church running, after all. Is he not here to keep this church, your church, in operation? Is he... what? Did he tell you he was? He did. Oh, really? That's a little... no, that's quite surprising. I hardly ever see him talking to anyone. Are you friends with him? Perhaps acquaintances would be a better word. Ah, well, he seems to be a nice enough fellow. Are you really not close with him at all? No, if he told you he was trying to protect this church, it would have to be out of sense of gratitude, nothing more. Gratitude for... a while back, he was in a pretty bad place in life, and I gave him some food. This was when I wasn't all the way out here, but at a church in the city. There were other nuns there too, as I recall. Right, we also served as an orphanage, so it was us and a ton of children. I've since fallen out of touch with them, though. But as servants of God, it is our responsibility to offer assistance to those in need, which is exactly what I did for him. No special treatment, I just did the right thing. So whatever you think you saw between us, there's nothing there. You're Pauline, though, aren't you? No, my name is Mary. Mary? Oh, how can that be? How can she not be her? Mary? That sounds like the name we heard behind the third door. Yeah, that's true. She was the servant. But they don't look alike. She looked like Pauline. At least as far as I remember. But I don't think they're the same person. I concur. There's no guarantee everyone's name has to be the same. Mel and Nellie were, which just made us think they all would be. That's true. And on the subject of assumptions, It's possible her connection to the swordman is also a flawed one. Because again, all we have to go on is Mel and Nelly. Although, in Morgana's story, I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines of doing what he did to keep her church running. Was he not referring to this woman? I should get back down to the courtyard then. Nelly won't be able to handle everything on her own. It would be great if we could help with the preparation. If you could help with the preparations too. 1 second. There's absolutely nothing going on between you. Why can't you just accept the answer I've given you? I don't like being so blunt, but you're really overstepping your bounds. I said there's nothing, and there's nothing. What do I say? If she leaves now, it won't be easy getting another chance to talk to her. Will I be able to get him to tell me his story without having her on my side though? Will I be able to get his key? Maybe you could try talking to him with Mel there. The two of you together could convince him to give up his key. When I encountered his shadow in the mansion, he told me that if I had mentioned the key to him in the past, he would have cut my head from his shoulders on the spot. Then, we should try find the Lord first instead? I think I'll try to shake her up. Take a leap of faith on there being something between them. Happy now? I should really get going. Hold on, just one last thing. Yes? Would it be possible for you to grant me access to the observation tower? The tower? Why? Because the Lord and his bodyguard are keeping someone imprisoned at the top of it. What? They're locked up a girl with miracle blood. It's not very appropriate to joke about things like that. I'm not joking. The medicine you are handing out, that's real human blood. What proof do you have? I have someone else who can corroborate my story. And what proof do you have that they're telling the truth? When you hear that he has to say, you'll know. But the greatest proof is his key. Sorry, but there's no way I can believe someone being imprisoned here. Your claims are an affront not only to the good people who give their time, money, and hard work for the church, but to God himself. Open the door and you can see for yourself. I can't. I don't have the keys. And does that not seem the slightest bit unusual to you? Does it not make you think they may be hiding something? No, because I know what's being kept in the tower. You know? The observation tower is the Lord's personal property. He stores his money and valuables there because a church is less likely to be broken into than his manor. His money? Even thieves fear God, so you can understand why he would want to keep his property here. Does that actually make sense though? If he's not afraid of thieves, surely he can afford to hire guards. He doesn't like keeping guards around. Why not? Haven't you heard? There have been several failed assassination attempts. The Lord is not a bad man. He can just be rather aggressive in his work, which has a tendency to make men enemies, some of whom want to see him dead, and keeping his wealth at hand only increases that risk. Now, are you satisfied? Insist all you like, but he's not keeping money in the tower. He's got a... Are you after the Lord's wealth? Is that what this is about? What? Again, I don't like being so blunt, but... Who do you think I'm more likely to believe? The Lord, who has been supporting me and this church, or you, who showed up out of nowhere, demanding me to open the door? I'm telling the truth. There's a dying girl in that tower. I'm sorry, I don't want to do this, but if you keep this up, I'm going to have to call the guards. I really must be going now. The swordman, he helped imprison the girl in the tower so he can get the money necessary to keep your church up and running. With your help, we could stop this. Take some time to cool off. Would it have killed her to be a little more open-minded? I really hope she considered the possibility we're telling the truth, even just a little bit. Is she so defensive because she trusts the Lord that much, or is her trust in the swordman? Or maybe it's simply because she doesn't trust me. I think I'll head back to the courtyard. I need some time to consider our next move. That's a good idea. And there might be something Mel and Nellie can do to help too. Perhaps. With the nun denying any involvement with the swordman and him being so inscrutable, I find myself at a complete loss as how to go about crossing the wall, standing in the way of getting the truth out of him. My mind brings me back to the events of the second door, the most savage of the three tragedies. The things he did then were undeniably inhuman, which makes me wonder if his perspective on this event would have any influence on Morgana's perception of him. If at all, a positive influence seemed the less likely. Was he a man, or was he beast? If nothing else, he wanted to be human in the beginning. What was it that he truly desired? If he hadn't been under Morgana's curse, would he have wanted to be the same killer he was? Ah, the chirping of birds. Blinding sunlight drags me from my thoughts. A radiance brighter, more intense than any I've been under today. Or rather, it's probably more my mind interpreting it that way because my eyes can't handle anymore. In a matter of moments, all I can see is white. Michelle, are you alright? I feel a sharp pain, like someone yanking at the back of my eyes. Fine. I just need some shade. Giselle's voice fades away. Ah! From somewhere, I think I can hear her calling my name, but instead of sound, all that reaches me is more pain. Then, the world starts tilting towards me. No, not the world. It's me who's falling. Oh my god, what happened? Oh my god. That's not good. Clearly fainting. Where are we? Not the dimension? Where am I? Everything is distorted. What's happening? You're awake. Oh, Morgana? What are you doing here? Does my appearance disturb you? This is to be expected, I suppose. I'm hardly what you would call attractive, after all. Morgana. Oh, I love this song. How do you know my name? How do I know your name? I came to save you. Where is this? Aren't you in the... Oh. Huh? What just happened? I tried to say observation tower, and my voice completely disappeared. Where is this? I'm not sure how you could know. This is the witch cottage by the lake. I found you unconscious outside my door, so I presumed you came in here in search of my herbal medication. Unconscious? Outside her door? Your arm. What? This is before she lost an arm. Does that mean I've traveled even further into the past? Or could this be... You must get yourself far away from this place, Morgana. Better yet, escape to another country entirely. Where did that come from? I have no means of survival if I leave. In that case, beware of two men who will come to visit you. You must not open the door for them. What do you mean? They're... and a boy and... Why do I lose my voice for all the most important details? Is this really the cottage by the lake? Take a look outside a window and see for yourself. There's nothing there. Nothing outside a window. No, that's not exactly right. A reddish-black fog churns beyond the window. A pretty lake, is it not? Not that I have any place talking about beauty. Now I understand. This isn't the real world. It is your world, then. Morgana. Or is it a world within our dreams? May I ask who you are? I once spent much time at your side. This is also very strange. It was always you who was talking to me, and now you don't even know my name. Shall we talk for a bit, Morgana? If you're going to try to convince me to leave, I won't have it. And please watch what you say. There's something very unsettling about your choice of words. As you wish. In that case, let's talk about ourselves. For so long, I fought to defend the things you said. Not because I had any particular dislike for you, but because I was afraid of how entrancing the sound of your voice was. I empathized with the feelings seeping through your words, and that understanding almost allowed them to consume me. There was a mysterious magnetism to your voice, and as emotionally unstable as I was at the time, I couldn't possibly have stood giving it into you. You're saying my voice is unpleasant? Not at all. It was beautiful. Frighteningly so. I want to try again. I want you to tell me about yourself. The thing you see and feel. I will not be telling you or anyone else about myself. Because they would have to be inhumane to empathize with you. Inhuman to empathize with you. In that case, we can start with me instead. Honestly, I don't want to talk about myself either, because it makes me feel pitiful, worthless. It's a story I would rather pretend never happened. And it's not a story I can tell just anyone. But you can tell me? Indeed. I was born into this world, a female. What? From a very young age, being a girl felt somehow wrong. And as I grew older, my body developed like a boy. Not entirely though. My body still is incomplete. I am missing one thing every man's supposed to have. The change drove my mother to madness and she hid me away, for I was unfit to be in the presence of others. That was when I was 14 years old, and that marked the end of any semblance of normalcy in my life. Morgana, you once told me that our fates were decided before birth, both yours and mine alike. I spent my whole life rejecting that notion, insisting that I was a normal person, fighting to prove I was indeed male. But now that it's all over, I think you're right. My fate was always set in stone. And perhaps if I had stopped trying to fight it, if I had shut up and accepted it, I would have lived a longer life. I could have not left Giselle behind. Do you regret your choice? No, I do not. No matter what could have been, I had to hold my ground. I had to keep shouting, because if I hadn't, it would have rendered my very existence meaningless. No matter what misfortune the decision may have brought, I must not regret it. Everyone has some principle, some belief, some fundamental aspect of themselves they must always stand in unwavering support of, or perhaps must not lose sight of, would be a better way to put it. For if we do, we lose sight of ourselves. For most people, these beliefs have probably been internalized so deeply they aren't even aware they hold them. But what we carry inside us is unique. Difficult for other people to understand, to accept, forcing us to walk a path of solitude and persecution. I believe you genuinely do have miraculous powers. And who knows, maybe your blood is special too, but I think your real power lies in your voice, in its ability to enchant anyone who hears it. But it was something you were born with, not something you asked for. Was it not? I am a saint and daughter of God. That is the lot I was given, and that is the path I must walk. If I stray from that path or stop walking, I will no longer be myself. It would make me worthless. We mustn't lament the solitude we were dealt. Maybe not, but I think that if either of us had someone, even one person who accepted us, it wouldn't have caused us to see the world in a much different light. It would have cost us. Oh my god. I know you had people you liked that, who treated you like your regular girl, but they're gone now. And have you never leaned on their memory? It comes back to me from time to time. But even then, they were different than me. They were so full of kindness, so very human. And while they taught me to experience their joy, not even they could change what I ultimately am. I left my humanity behind far too early in my life. And what about you? Do you have anyone special? I do. And do they treat you like a normal person? She does. However, you still know that you're different, that you can't fit in with everyone else, that you're abnormal. You do, don't you? I am very conscious of that fact. That on a fundamental level. I'm still grey, and that so long as I am who I am, that will always be so. Nevertheless, her acceptance allowed me to step onto the path she walked. A path wide open, wide enough even for me, despite my abnormality. You are, I expect, only half right about that. You're a man capable of making compromises, with a spirit strong enough to try to walk the path of humanity, while still being an outsider to it. I could never do that. Someone could be standing there, some ordinary but incredibly kind and accepting person, holding their hand out for me, and I don't think I can take it, because I know that if I do, it will only bring more pain. So if I'm to take anyone's hand, it must be someone inhuman, someone fundamentally abnormal, and not just mentally or emotionally, but on a deeper level, instinctively different. Morgana, maybe you could do it. Maybe you could understand even the tiniest bit of my fate. You could do that, couldn't you? Then do it. Understand me. Empathize with me. Take some of the weight off my back. Morgana, I have every intention of doing anything I can. But you have to understand, I'm not from this time, Morgana. I cannot promise you I will be around much longer. So instead, take as much time as you need to find someone who will accept you. And with them, slowly bring yourself back onto the path of humanity. It will not be easy, I know. Constant fear at the looks of people give you, dreading the things they think and feel about you, terrified by the thought they might abandon you at any moment, the ever-present anxiety about whatever you're able to fit in them. But I know you can do it. I know you can bring yourself back to a place you can love, like what you had 4 years ago. You really are. Oh, we were caught off. Michelle. The witch Morgana. You may think talking to my past self can change something, but you're sorely mistaken. Nothing of the girl you see there remains. Poke and prod at the past all you like. It won't change anything, my dear. It's all too far gone to have any effect. Michelle. Michelle, are you there? Are you alright? Get up, Michelle, please. Oh, it seems to be already evening. Oh, thank goodness you're awake. Did I pass out? Ah, you're awake. Are you okay? Did you hit your head? Nelly, you gave everyone a big scare, dearest Michelle. All of a sudden, you are just on the ground. Were you feeling unwell? No, I just have a natural sensitivity to the sunlight. I apologize for any concern I caused you. Sorry for worrying you too, Giselle. And for that rather shameful display, no need to apologize. Like you said, you're sensitive to the sunlight. I'm just glad you're alright, Michelle. If anything, I should be the one apologizing for putting so much pressure on you. I had no idea it was so bright out. As long as you're not sick or anything. So, you're feeling better now? My head still hurts a little, but yes, I'm fine. What time is it? Almost supper time, which means I'd better get back to the cottage. Was I really out that long? At least you woke up before supper. I should get going though. See you tomorrow, Michelle. Good night, Nelly. Tomorrow is the day before Morgana's supposed to die. Our time is limited enough as it is. That said, Giselle, I saw Morgana. You... What do you mean? How? I don't know if it was in a world of her creation or simply a dream, but in it, I spoke with Morgana when she was still alive. What was she like? Not like the Morgana we know now, but not someone who seemed to feed off hatred. So she really was a saint in life, like Mel described her. Though I got the impression being a saint was more like a chain around her ankle, the only way she was able to derive meaning from life. Not to mention the utter sense of solitude brought about by the knowledge that no one like her would ever come into her life. Do you think she wanted to break free from the chains then? Even if she were able to, she would never be able to return to anything resembling normal. Much like I will never have a normal body. Although... Oh, you're awake. That's good. What, you came to check up on me? Don't act so surprised. I'm plenty capable of showing concern for others. That said, no, that's actually not why I'm here. He looks pale. I know you're not feeling well, but if you're up to it, would you mind joining me for supper? I don't know why you would make such a big deal about asking me. He's the one asking. I think he's getting suspicious. I see. I apologize for not handling my encounter with him better. Don't be. If you was sure I was playing him, I wouldn't be here. So don't blame yourself. Though, I would still appreciate it if you came. Absolutely. Turning him down would only give him more reason to be suspicious. True enough. I'll do my best not to let anything slip. You try and do the same, alright? Of course. Well, let's get going then. Could the nun have told him what I said to her? Whatever this is about, we don't want to keep him waiting. Be on your guard. I will. Oh god. Alright, here he is. I see that. I've been waiting. I saved you a couple seats, so go on. Sit down. He seems a bit suspicious of us. Just a little, though. This is unbearable. What's the matter, Mel? You've hardly touched your food. Lost your appetite? I've never been a very big eater. No? Then why don't you give the rest to your friend here? It's a bit bland, but it's passable. Wouldn't you say? This pressure is nothing if not overwhelming. How does he expect anyone to eat with air so tense? And Mel refuses to even look at him. Considering he's the reason Mel involved in this at all. I can understand not wanting to make eye contact. Or even be in the same room. Are you not going to eat either? Don't worry, there's no poison in it. The thought never even crossed my mind. Why would you think I would be concerned about my meal being poisoned? It was only a joke. I don't see the Lord anywhere. He's gone back to his manor. I thought you were his bodyguard. He's a lord. He has more than one guard. Why did you invite us to supper? Is there any reason I shouldn't have? There are plenty, such as, like, I imagine anyone would feel a bit overwhelmed dining with the Lord personal bodyguard. Like that. In fact, I'm surprised you two knew each other at all. Let alone were on good enough terms to share supper together. You haven't told this man anything, have you, Mel? Nothing. All I told him was that you were the Lord bodyguard. I see. You want to know what kind of terms we're on? What? We're accomplices. Such a shame this was how your reunion had to turn out. We finally get to see him again, only to learn he's a criminal. Wait, what crimes might you be referring to? Take a guess. What sort of atrocities do you think we're committing? What is he doing? Why would he tell you that? He wants to gauge my reaction, I assume. I have to choose my words carefully. I can't say too much, but I won't get anywhere saying nothing either. Okay, let's save. Clearly, crucial moment. How should I handle this? I have no idea. Okay, there's no picking here. All I'm asking you is to do is guess. Just say the first thing that comes to mind. You're putting me on the spot, telling me my friend is a criminal, and then asking me to guess his crime? Do you honestly think you would get any sort of answer out of me? You make a fair point. Then allow me to change the question. If you found out a friend of yours was a criminal, would you still be able to be their friend? That question makes you uncomfortable too? Consider it a sort of a sideshow to liven up our meal. Don't take it too seriously. It would depend on if they feel guilty about what they've done, and if they have any intention of making penance for their crimes. And Mel, well, he's someone who would be ashamed of any wrongdoing he might or might have not participated in. I see. What about you? If you had done something you knew to be wrong, would you be ashamed? Would you make penance? Maybe. Maybe not. You have one hell of a friend here, Mel. Michelle, that was your name, wasn't it? Do you have any other friends? I don't have many, no. Any in this land? No. Why do you ask? I don't have any friends here either. Or maybe I never had any at all. Maybe he wants to be your friend, Michelle. Somehow I doubt that. Yeah, I guess not. Any family? I left home some time ago. Are they too far to visit regularly? Why do you want to know? I'm in a similar situation myself. I thought it might be nice to find some common ground. I find it difficult to take him at his word. So you made a long journey all the way out here so you could see him? That I did. This is just a small detour in his travels. That's what you told me, isn't it? That's right. How very gracious of you to go so far out of your way for him. Oh, and Mel, I have a question for you as well. What kind of question? Think of it like a little game. You're standing on the edge of a cliff. On your left is your sister, and on your right, him. They're both about to fall. You can only save one of them. Whose hand do you grab? Surely this isn't the first time you heard that scenario proposed. It's not real, it's just hypothetical. Don't take it so seriously. Come on, it's just a game. You know that, right? You don't need to answer. As he said, I'm only here to see him. When I heard there was going to be a festival, I requested permission to remain until then. If that displeases you for any reason, I apologize. But hypothetical or not, a question like that makes it uncomfortable for everyone involved. Or are you trying to make him feel cornered? Not at all. It was merely a question. I never meant to make him uncomfortable. My apologies. Now I suppose I should take my leave, as it seems my presence makes it hard to enjoy the food. Relax, I'm not staying here tonight. I won't get in the way of your reunion anymore. You said you would be here until the Harvest Festival. They're supposed to be putting on quite the impressive event. Look forward to it. May I ask you one thing before you go? Huh? What do you think of the nun? Are you very close to her? I am not close to anyone. Lies. Deception. So, yeah, thank you. I was hoping to handle it better than that. But I just can't seem to keep it together around him. I'm really sorry. I can hardly blame you. Thanks. There's something really unsettling about him. I can't say I disagree. What was the deal with that question anyway? The cliff one? Yeah. I think it's best if you don't linger on it. Any way you look at it, he had to be... Never mind. Anyway, keep your eye out. You probably want to be extra careful tonight. After all that, I'm scared that he might be up to something. There's no saying where he actually went. I'm with Mel. I have a bad feeling about what he might do. After a conversation like that, you'd be crazy not to be on alert. That would be wise, yes. I plan to head straight back to my room. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Do you really think we'll be able to get his key? I still can't bring myself to believe there's anything between him and the Saintess. And the Lord's pretty much always inaccessible. Does the Lord say anything when you're all together? Such as anything at all. Something to give me some idea what kind of a person he is. Sorry, I've got nothing. I usually keep my mouth shut when I'm with them, and they hardly talk to each other either. I see. Sorry, I'm pretty sure you already heard this, but the Lord is an incredibly suspicious man. I'm not sure he's capable of trusting anyone at all. So it's not really a situation when I can go up and ask him about his personal life. After several failed assassination attempts, among other things, he just grown to be suspicious of everyone around him. If someone walking up to him and he even thinks they might try something, that's all it takes for him to have them beheaded. As a person, his reputation's awful, but he has done a ton to improve the city economy. So the merchants and artisans think he's alright. And, out of curiosity, what is the Lord's name? Huh? Oh, you don't know that either. His name, I assume it isn't Jacopo, is Jean Francosis Barnier. Okay. What? That name doesn't fit him at all. Not one bit. He does not look like a Jean Francosis. Could that mean he's not the Lord then? No, the Lord is the only other person who did enough to earn Morgana's wrath and will be on the receiving end of a reconstruction wish. It has to be him. But between him and the nun being named Mary, things are starting to get a bit muddled. Hold on a second. I think I heard the name Barnier somewhere. There was a diary in the library when I lived in the mansion, as I recall, written by someone named Barnier. Actually, now that I think about it, that's the same diary that also showed up in Mel's next life. In it, he was complaining about not having gotten larger of the family estate. Whoa, wait, what? He was complaining about not having gotten the larger of the family estates. Interesting. And the bad harvest. I think I remember that. Oh, A Diary of an Old Lord. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. That was one of the books your family sent you, right? Actually, that was the one book they didn't. It was already in the library when I arrived. You think he could have written it? And here I thought it was just the scribblings of a disgruntled noble. If the book really is that old, I am amazed it was in such good condition for so long. We can't be more than 100 years behind our own time, so it's not inconceivable it would be still in good shape then. But Mel came back many hundreds of years after that. It's almost like it was frozen in time. You know, I think time actually may have been stopped during the times the mansion wasn't present in the living world. I kept it clean, yes, but one person going around dusting would be enough to keep it from falling into disrepair over hundreds of years. Just what on earth is that mansion? Is it also a part of Morgana's miracle? What's the matter? You've been standing there, staring off into space. Oh, I'm sorry, I got lost in thought. You seem to do that a lot, just go off into your own world. I swear, you've got to be more absent-minded than me. That's not important though, I guess. Anyway, so I've been trying to think of ways I can help. But sorry, I haven't been able to come up with anything. It's fine. I'm simply glad to have you on my side. Sure. Well, I should get back to my room. If you have any good ideas, let me know. I will. I should head back too. I know we don't have much time, Michelle, and that concerns you, but try not to agonize over it too much. Sorry. After how well yesterday went, it just feels like we've come to a screeching halt. Honestly, I'm having trouble processing everything. How about, for now, we just focused on the immediate issues? I suppose. To start with, we're going to want to talk to the nun again tomorrow. We might have an easier time of it if we brought Mel or Nellie along. She'd probably be more inclined to believe us about the observation tower if it came from them. That might work. Though, it presents another potential problem. What if she doesn't believe them? It could put the two of them at risk. And there's also the chance she's not involved with the swordman at all, as she claims. In which case, convincing her doesn't get us any closer to getting the truth out of them. Maybe it would be better to approach it from the Lord. Did you hear that? It came from over by the window. Maybe it's a cat. I'll go check. Oh. What was that? Oh my... Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh my god, that scared me. Damn it, there's someone in there. Dude, who's that? It's a ghost. There's a ghost out there. Get away from the window. Hurry. You don't want it to possess you. Calm down. Your screams startle me far more than anything. How am I supposed to calm down? We have to go find Mel and get another room. We can't stay in this one any longer. No way. I don't think it was a ghost. In fact, I'm going after them. What? No, you can't be serious. Michelle! What? Who was that? I'm pretty sure they went this way. Let's go back to the mansion. You're chasing a ghost. You're out of your mind. You know, now that I think about it, she's essentially a ghost herself, afraid of another ghost. I think I saw movement in the bushes over there. Is this the one? Oh my god, it's actually her. You found me. It's Maria. Is that who I think it is? Be a good boy and pretend you never saw me, got it? And why is she dressed so promiscuously? Be a good boy and pretend you never saw me, got it? I'm off. Hold on. Go after her. Stop, please. I want to talk to you. You stop. Why are you chasing me? For the record, I wasn't breaking in for nefarious reasons, so you don't need to take me into the guard. I'm not going to report you. All I want to do is talk. I've got nothing to say to you. Well, I do, so please stop. What's your deal anyway? You some kind of creep? No. How the hell men chasing a woman down dark road is not a creep? As if you look any less suspicious. Screw off and stop chasing me, damn it. Then stop running. Is someone there? Perfect. Hell, please. I'm being chased by a strange man. What? Why are you... He's going to do terrible things to me. Oh. Is this as bad as it looks? It's worse. What's going on here? Wait a minute. Don't do anything rash. I can explain. I'm completely innocent. Maria? Oh. Well then. The things are suddenly looking better for us. So it would seem. What are you doing here, Maria? Wait, are you... Is that you, Pauline? I knew it. I knew it. What? They know each other? And she called her. So I was right. That is your name. That is my earthly name. It is not who I am now. I am Mary. I am no longer go by that name. Maria. Mary's, that's your name. Ha! That's a fucking laugh. You joking? I am not. And that outfit, you become a nun or something? That part of a gag? That's why you call yourself Mary, huh? Name suits you a hell of a lot better than me. The Virgin Mary namesake grows up to be a whore, while sweet little Pauline grows up to be genuine Virgin Mary. What do you say? Want to take my earthly name and I'll take yours? You don't have to be so crude. This seemed like it could go south very quickly. That reminds me, I've heard word there was a saintess or whatever at the church here. That you? A saintess, huh? That's just what people call me. I don't actually consider myself a saint. Pure as ever, I see. If it were me, I'd let him put me up on that pedestal, bask in the worship for a while. Then swipe all the tides and get the hell out. You're unbelievable, Maria. Oh, I'm just kidding. Don't take what I say so seriously. What did you come here for, Maria? That's what whores do. We come and go. We're anywhere and everywhere, and then we're gone. You do realize this is a church, right? I know. Sacred ground. No place for a dirty old prostitute like me. I'm going to hell, yada yada. I didn't say that. I would prefer you refrain from working on church property. I was on my way out, in fact. But then that white-haired dude came after me. I do believe you tried to break into my room first. What? You keep your mouth shut. You tried to break in? What for? What does it matter what for? I'm a whore. Maybe someone hired me. Or maybe I came to pillage the tide box? Was it the Lord? Is that who you came to see? Huh? Why would you assume the Lord, of all people? There are plenty of other men in need of my services. I thought there might be something between you two. There's nothing between us. Everyone's denying their connection to each other. So, since you're here, Maria, do you want to stop by my place for a bit? So you can grill me about what I'm here for? No, I'll admit I'm curious, but if you don't want to talk about it, I won't try and force you. We just haven't seen each other in so long. I'm sure we got plenty to catch up on. Come on, surely you can stay for tea at least. They don't call you Saintess for nothing, huh? You'll even invite a whore into your house for a friendly chit-chat. I wish you'd stop calling me that. You're an old friend who I haven't seen in years. It's only natural to want to catch up, is it not? They're old friends? Not sure what exactly applies to us, you know. But sure, why not? Though, to tell you the truth, I have no idea what the hell we'd even talk about, so I'll agree to come on one condition. White hair here comes with. Who? Me? You can't let this opportunity go. Now that we know the nun is Pauline, we might be able to get more out of her. That's fair, but still. I'm not sure how comfortable I am bringing a man into the house with only girls. And I'm not sure how comfortable I am going. What's the big deal? You're afraid that he might turn feral? No, he ain't that kind of guy. You've got nothing to worry about. You seem to trust me quite a bit for someone you just met. Not so much trust, more like the air you give off? Air? You don't look like you got the balls to do it. What did you just say? Damn it, this thing's worse than she has any way of knowing. Don't let it get to you. There's nothing you can do about that. Well, what are you waiting for? Go on, get your butts moving. Okay. I'm not sure I like where this is going. Giselle right though. This could be a good chance to get some new info. Ah! What is it? I just remembered. Something vital? She called me a creep. In the third door, she kept calling me a creep. It just occurred to me that now she was talking about me, like that behind my back. I can't believe she would do that. Let it slide for now. It's something she does in the future, after all. I'm not a creep, am I? Well, considering what you were like at the time, I can't really blame her for thinking that. I wish I could erase that phase of my life entirely. Even I get shivers thinking of the maid me. I honestly don't think it was that bad myself. I'll take that as a compliment. Please do. That maid outfit, though, it's quite alright. Actually, funny said that. Oh, hello, dearest Michelle. What brings you here so late? Did you come to see me? Who's that peep squeak? She lives here. I took her in. Oh, it's a strange lady. And she's wearing almost nothing. Are you not cold in that? Girl, you don't make it in this business worrying about the cold. What kind of work do you do? Your clothes are really pretty colors, like something a princess would wear. In a way, I'm kinda like a princess. A wicked princess who goes around Maria, she does not need to hear that. Oh, what's the fuss? I'm just giving her a glimpse of the real world. And you think now is the time for that? This isn't awkward or anything. Also, that what I sponsor. Also, what's this dearest Michelle about? You two sting or something? Seems a bit young for you. No, that's just what she calls me. That's what I call my brothers. Here's my number 2 brother, but we're not related. My real brother back at the church. He's got the same color hair as me, and we look a little alike. Must be a pretty good looking fella if he's related to you. Of course he is. I wouldn't let him be my brother if he didn't look good. That's quite the assertion, Nelly. Ah, it's so lively in here. I'm stranded in an uncharted territory. Oh, I bet you're stiff as a board out there. Relax. Deep breath. You're asking the impossible. Alright, well, sit down and make yourself comfortable, everyone. I'll go make some tea and something to snack on while I'm in there. It's girls' night in. This will be fun. Why is Michelle here, though? You have no idea how much I wish I knew. Ooh, that's not important. But you know what is? 3 girls, 1 guy. That's gotta be rough. Actually, make that 4 girls! Ah, why would that be rough? Tell me, you've got 3 girls in 1 room. What do you think they're going to be talking about? Love, romance, and there he sits, all alone, in a pink cloud of girl talk. That sounds uncomfortable. Ha, and we get to watch him twist and squirm. That sounds like fun. What do you think I am, their plaything? I didn't just sense you smiling too, did I? Oh no, not at all. I was just thinking I feel kind of bad for you. Why don't I believe you? We don't have time for this. Morgana's still locked up in the tower, even as we speak. I get where you're coming from, but I don't think this will turn out to be a waste of time. All 3 of them have ties to the men with the keys. We could very well learn something from their conversation that lead to a breakthrough. So I say we participate, see where it goes. What's this? Already friend you two? Yep, I like this new lady a lot. She's a sweet little girl, what's not to love? You know, that kind of makes me jealous. It took you a long time to warm up to me, Nelly. What? No it didn't, I don't think. I don't know, it felt to me like you were keeping your distance. Well, you know, it's not easy to work up the courage to talk to a real-life saint. Oh, Nelly, you know it's not that big of a deal. I'm not even a real saint. So, what's the conversation? Love? Romance. How about your taste in guys? Ooh. Oh. Do you have anyone? A crush? A special someone? You do, don't you? I'm a servant of God, the Father. So no, I do not have anyone. Oh, come on, we won't tell. Promise. Forbidden love. So romantic. So exciting. You know, I think you should go first, Nelly. I like princely boys. My brother is the closest thing to my ideal. And I mean my real brother. You don't say. And you, Maria? What kind of guys do you like? Me? I like a nice, subservient man. Someone who knows I'm in charge. Salty isn't her strong suit, huh? Why not someone you can always count on? Or encouraging, or supportive, or sweet and kind? Someone like that would be... Guys like that only light you little tween girls' fires. Things get a little more complicated as you get older. Life stops being quite so simple. So you start wanting to find someone who'll make the daily load of shit even a little bit easier to swallow. Really? I'm not sure I want to grow up anymore. Though I guess that's partially a result of who I am. So who knows? Maybe you'll have it a little better? I hope so. Okay, now it's your turn, Sister Mary. Me? I suppose I could tell I could tell you who was my favorite angels are. Oh my god. No, it has to be someone real. You have to have someone. I already told you. There's someone else who hasn't gone yet. I can go after that, can I? Who else is there? You know, that's not a half bad idea. Agreed. I want to know too. No dodgy answers either. What? What kind of girl do you like, Michelle? What? You're not supposed to bring me into the conversation. Lighten up, loosen up, let us have it. But it's a very complicated personal matter. Then how about we make things simple? Turn it into a choice. A choice? Of the three of us, who ticks the most boxes on your complicated tastes? Don't think too hard about it, just pick one. Me? The teeny tiny one? Or the nun? Who will it be? What on earth have I gotten myself into? The way they're staring at me. I'm not getting out of this. Bruh. Okay, let's save. Well, I'm definitely not saying any of them. I already have someone. I'm not interested in women. What? Really? Shh, that's no fun. You can still tell us what light your fire at least, even if you already got someone. Loving someone is a beautiful thing. I will pray for God to grant you both his blessing. What's she like though? I wanna know. Tell us about her. What's she like? Huh, she's always smiling. She's a very cheerful, energetic person. The opposite of me in many ways. So she's staying at the mansion with you? No, I'm here alone. Does she not feel the same way about you? Unrequited love, is it? You poor thing. It won't be cheap, but I'll keep you company for the night if you want. She loves me too. Then why isn't she here? If you're a couple, you're supposed to stay together. Did you leave her behind when you left? Circumstances prevent us from seeing each other right now. I can always feel her there, by my side, but I can't see her. What circumstances? Now, Nelly, don't be prying. It's a personal matter, one I'm sure isn't easy for him. Will you ever be able to see her again? I have faith that I will, because when I see her next, in the flesh, I need to take her by the hands, look her in the eyes, and tell her something very important. Michelle, is she somewhere really far away? Or is there something else getting in your way? Women are fickle creatures, though. You may think she'll always love you, but spend enough time apart, and who knows how those feelings might change. We're not as bullheaded as you guys tend to be. While you're here, away from her, she could find someone else she likes. Or maybe she already has. I would never... Her feelings will never change. She has spent more time waiting for me than you can possibly imagine. Though, there were times where she lost sight of what she was waiting for. Deep down in her heart, she never forgot about me. I know that for a fact. I don't buy that sickly sweet, her love is eternal crap one damn bit. It's short-sighted, ignorant. People change, their feelings change. It's the ones you think you care the most about who will inevitably stab you in the back one day. That's what people do. You just never had the pleasure. But one day you will. You'll taste the bitterness of betrayal. Is there anyone in your life you care about more than yourself? Not a one. You won't understand what we have together then. But someday, if you ever find someone who means as much to you, I think you'll come to understand that it's possible to love someone even if they do sometimes cause you pain. You're telling this to a whore that already has me out of the running. I don't think that's true. Anyone can find someone, no matter who they are. It doesn't matter how old you are or what kind of work you do, or if you're noble or peasant. Oh, come on, you're making it sound like I'm the bad guy here. In this case, she might actually be more mature than you, Maria. Oh, shove it. Now that's Michelle answered. It's your turn. What? Do I really have to? You do. Everyone else has answered. Like I said, I don't have anyone. Oh, don't forget about tea I made. It's going to get cold. Anyway, I'm more interested in catching up with you, Maria, than talking about boys. What happened after you left? Alright, sure. We can talk about that. Okay, she avoided the question, but we know the truth. An orphanage. Yep, neither of us had parents or family, so we were raised in an orphanage. Beyond the second door, Pauline had a family and seemed to be quite well off. I guess that's not the case here. So you grew up together then? Sister Mary never told me about her childhood before. I don't like to talk about the past. Not the best memories after all. I'd say we're both lucky we made it this far in life. You still keep in touch with that sheephead of a director? Sheet heap of a director? Now, don't talk about him like that. He's not a bad person. Yeah, I know. In your mind, everyone's not a bad person. He isn't, really. But yes, he stopped by occasionally to check in. He was the one who set me on the path to becoming a nun. He always was fond of you. Perfect little angel you were. I doubt he liked me any more than anyone else. Compared to you, I was a damned gremlin. You were a naughty girl, weren't you, Maria? The naughtiest girl around. I threw rocks at the walls, making all the little holes, making all these little holes, and one time I even filled the director's shoes with dog shit. That would make anyone angry. I wasn't always little twat, mind you. The director either loved you or hated you. There was no middle ground. And if he didn't like you, life was hell. He'd make you go out without supper or force you to sleep outside. Shit like that. That's awful. I had no idea he was doing that to you. You could have said something. Like that would have made a difference. You adored the damn director. You never would have believed me over him. Once you put your trust in someone, you refuse to believe they could be anything less than perfect. Completely blinded by fate. I don't. You do. The only reason you're willing to believe me now is because it's been so long, and because there are other people here. This would probably be a good time to step in, Michelle. Change the subject or something. I feel kind of bad for her. So, how long were you two together? Until we were around 10, I think? Does that sound about right? Sounds about right, yeah. I got fed up with everything and ran off. Ended up at a brothel. Been a whore ever since. It's been, what, 10 years now? I'm practically a veteran. Did you like life at the brothel better than the orphanage, Maria? Between the two, I take the brothel any day. There, I've got friends and colleagues, although I did lose a whole bunch of them 4 years ago. 4 years ago? I remember hearing word of brothel raided by bandits around the same time. Was that where you worked, Maria? Oh, we find a connection here. Okay. Yep, and what a nightmare that was. I mean, why the hell would you raid a whorehouse? Why not go after some noble estate or a damn lord for that matter? A brothel raided by bandits? 4 years ago. Yeah, that's the one Morgana was in. So that's interesting. We find a connection. What's the matter? Trying to make those forehead wrinkles permanent? I know I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm beginning to think Maria might have had some contact with Morgana in life as well. Oh, 4 years ago would make Morgana 12, and where was she then? Ah, I have a question for you, Maria. Was there a girl the name Morgana at that brothel? You know Morgana. So my suspicion was right. Yeah, Morgana was there. Me and the other girl looked after her together. But after the bandits razed the place, I never saw her again. What a travesty that was. It was chaos. Only a handful of us even survived. I figured she'd either been killed or sold off somewhere. But if you know her, that means she's alive, right? Huh, that's great to hear. I've been worried about her ever since. Michelle, Morgana, the saint's name, isn't it? That's what you told me. Saintess? That's right, Nelly. That is indeed the name of the person who performed your miracle. And she's locked up in the tower now. Locked up? You told Nelly all that nonsense too, Michelle? It's not nonsense. Mel told me everything. It's all true. He feels terrible about what he's done, but he can't set her free by himself. Now you too. We need the other 2 keys. The Lord has one, and his bodyguard has another. After learning the truth, I knew I had to tell you. But I was too afraid you wouldn't believe me. And if you didn't believe me, something bad might happen to Mel. It's not good to tell lies, Nelly. And the same goes for your brother as well. What? The Lord stores his valuables in that tower. That's why it's locked up and you can't get in. Or are you all 3 after his wealth? Of course not. And you, Michelle, you need to stop letting these strange suspicion in. See? This is exactly what I was talking about. You haven't changed one bit. You won't even give someone the time of day if they're saying anything that contradicts someone you've decided you trust. Can the watchtower, was it? Can you not bust the door down? I'm still lost as hell here. But the long and short of it, Morgana might be in the tower? She is, yes. It might be possible to break down the door with a dozen or so people to help, but that's infeasible. Besides, opening the door isn't our only objective. So we need the other keys. Correct. It's not true. How he would never do that to someone. People think he's scary and mean, but they're wrong. He's a sweet, respectable man. He would never lock up an innocent girl. Even though everyone else is saying he would. If I don't believe in him, then who will? So you are more than acquaintances. If you really have that much faith in his goodness, then tell us what after you've seen. Tell that after you've seen what he's done. Pauline. Assuming, hypothetically, there is someone in that tower. There's nothing I could do about that. I'm a nun. I have no real authority here. I'm just a pretty face. Nevertheless, he started this to help you. So if you tell him to stop, he might actually listen. Please, Sister Mary, help us set the saintess free. Your ability to trust someone so completely is actually pretty amazing. But if you let it turn into a blind faith, it'll come back and bite you in the ass. Could I please ask the 2 of you to leave? An old friend of mine might be held prisoner right now, and you expect me to just scamper on home? Go. Tuh. She's a little too innocent, perhaps, but I don't think her fate is entirely blind. You are a woman who is capable of making decisions for herself. I know you are. Yes, you've placed your complete faith in one man, but that hasn't stopped you from considering what you should do with your own life. You are never short-sighted. We only met yesterday. What could you possibly know about me? Give me some time, until tomorrow. Time to think about what to do. As you wish. So, is that really all that really true? It is. How do you know any of that though? Because, what story should I go with this time? Should I use the letter again? Forget it, that's not important. The Peepswicks ain't one to go throwing around accusation like that for shit. Point is, I'll take your word for it. And if we get that door open and it turns out there's no one there, nor harm done. So you believe me? You're not lying, are you? No, I am not. Then that's that. Frustrating part is, winning over a whore isn't going to get you very far towards fixing anything. That's not true. Just knowing you believe me is reassuring. If you say so. Could I ask you something? You did come here in search of the Lord, didn't you? He has the third key, without which we cannot get into the tower, and my gut tells me you're the one who's going to make that possible. Why would you think that? Because you have a very strong connection to him. You may think I sound crazy, but your souls are inextricably bound together. Our souls? Don't even joke. I know how it sounds, but that's the only way. Okay, you got me. I'm done lying. You're right, I came in looking for the Lord. There are rumors going around he's been seen coming in and out of the church here. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to cave his fucking skull in. You... what? What you gonna do about it? Call the guards on me? No, I won't. But tell me, why do you want to kill him? Why? What? Are you not from around here? Well, you should know he's one hell of an aggressive ruler. I won't deny he's done wonders for the economy. The city is a great place to be if you're a merchant. Taxes are lower than anywhere else, and all you need is enough money and you can buy citizenship. But for the people who lived here our whole life, the poor, the peasants, those who need the most help, it's only getting harder to stay afloat. The gap's getting bigger by the day. While the main streets looking lavish and lively, people are literally starving to death on the back streets. He tore down his vineyard that's been around for generations to make room for more shops. And sure, you can import some damn fine wine from some other city. But where does that leaves everyone who can afford it? That reminds me, in the 3rd floor, he ran some other company's factory out of business for its own profit. Different businesses, same practice. Giselle? The merchants, especially those who came in from other cities, get treated like kings, but the Lord still has plenty of enemies. Ah, I see. So you're someone who doesn't think highly of him then? Pretty much. What would the killing one man accomplish though? Not much, probably. It'd make me feel a hell of a lot better though. Do you not actually know the Lord in person then? I've met him before, so I know who to look for. But that's about it. There's none of this, oh, what do you call it? Inextricably linked souls crap? No fucking thank you. Maria says she met him, and Morgana mentioned seeing prostitute at Lord Manor when she was first taken there. Could she be one of them then? Changing the subject a bit, there's something I want to ask about Pauline. Frankly, her being a nun, it doesn't make a damn lick of sense to me. What do you mean? I mean, this isn't what she wanted with her life. When we were kids at the orphanage, she wasn't exactly this pillar of fate. We said grace before meal, but only because those were the rules, all ceremony, nothing more to it. She appears to be quite devout to me. I'm thinking something had to have her made her that way, forced her into the role. The girl I knew was pretty unexceptional. Had her head in the clouds though, so we never really got along. But she always talking about how, when she left the orphanage, she'd find the perfect man, fall in love, get married. You could practically see the hearts in her eyes. They'd buy a comfortable house, have a few kids, maybe get a dog. It would be a happy family, warm, peaceful. And every time she told me this, I snort out and tell her she needed to get herself a more original dream, at which point she started crying and calling me mean. Wow, Maria was an impressively jaded 10-year-old girl. She was a girl in love with love, and now she's a bloody nun. I guess it kinda makes sense as an extension of her unwavering trust shtick. But I mean, come on, surely she could have chosen someone better to put that trust in. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, as unreceptive as she was back there, she wasn't doing it maliciously. Not that I have any right to defend her after all the shit I gave her about it. You know, you're making it very hard to tell whether you like her or not. Don't think too hard about it, just sticking up for an old acquaintance. Anyway, I think I'll head back. As concerned as I am about Morgana, there's not much I can do. Guards aren't gonna believe the rumblings of some whore, especially not when she's making accusation about that damn lord. That part gonna be a real bitch, I figure. If there's anything I can do, let me know. You can find me at a brothel in town. Well, I'm off. Huh? It's late. I'm not sure how safe it is for you to be wandering around in the dark alone. Maybe I should accompany you. Don't worry, this is my home turf. And besides, if someone did attack, I'm pretty sure I can outrun you. And overpower you at that. The worst part is, she's probably right. But, okay, so something really funny has happened. Basically, I chose this option, which is a dead end. And I don't want to showcase a 20-minute video of me just going through that dead end, so I'll just summarize it real quick. I'm sorry if you want to see it, but I don't think it's worth the time, because it's 20 minutes just for one thing to happen. Basically, what happened is we took her home, and after coming back through the forest, we encountered Yukimasa speaking with Pauline, and we spied on them. And nothing too important was happening between them. Pauline just confronted Yukimasa about the girl in the tower, and he promised her there's nothing there, and she believed him. But that being said, she did want to see what's in the observation tower anyway, so he said that after tomorrow, he will show her what's in the tower. And then after Pauline left, Yukimasa found us out and killed us. That's basically the entire thing, summarized just in 1 minute. I don't think there's need to see, the footage of it. So, we'll pick the right option now. If you're certain, very well. I appreciate the thought. See ya. Hold on a second. Something else you needed? I would like, if you could, for me to tell you about the time you spent with Morgana. Anything you can, no matter how insignificant it may seem. I want to know what kind of life she had there. How's tomorrow sound? Tomorrow? I'll sneak into the courtyard tomorrow night. Meet me there, and I'll tell you all you want to know. Why not now, though? No real reason. I just need a little time to sort things out through. See you tomorrow night. Stay warm. Not even a chance to get another word in. Also, I feel like I'm dressed much warmer than her. Tomorrow night, that doesn't leave us with much time. Giselle, what? Hello, what is it? You've been so quiet, I was getting concerned. It's good to know you're still there. I guess I sort of dozed off for a bit. It's fine, I'm fine though, don't need to worry. Are you sure? I think we should head back too. We've done about everything we can today. You're right, running into Maria was a great stroke of luck. Thanks to her, we now have confirmation that the nun is indeed Pauline. And we've potentially convinced Pauline to try and walk to the swordman. Depending on how things pan out tomorrow, we could be very close to accomplishing our goal. I'm sure it will be smooth sailing, just like with Mel. I certainly hope so. So before you go to sleep, do you want to talk for a bit? Of course. In fact, I was about to ask you the same thing. That's what you say, but on the inside, you actually enjoy being surrounded by girls more than talking to me, don't you? And you seem to enjoy teasing me. I'm just kidding. Truthfully, I don't think I ever wished you were there to save me more than then. I've never been comfortable in such spirited environments. Put 3 women in a room and it'll get like that, yeah. It can be overstimulating. I could not have been more out of my element. I don't know, you seem to fit pretty well to me. You really think so? You made for a great plaything. Oh yes, I'm quite good at that, aren't I? I will say, there was one thing about the whole affair that surprised me. Oh, what would that be? I did not expect I would be able to have such a normal social interaction, and not because I'm awkward or poor conversationalist. For most of my life I was cursed, irregular, and you were the only one who didn't treat me like that. That came to be what I saw as normal. And as such, as being able to participate in a social gathering like that is very exotic sensation. It felt almost like it shouldn't be possible. You are normal, Michelle. An ordinary man. This right here, this is what I wish I had in life. And for me to finally attain it in death. Though I suppose lamenting the details would make me ungrateful. I'm glad to have that experience though. I'm glad to hear it. So, I know I have been talking about how much I want to save Morgana, and that hasn't changed. Neither has my desire to change everyone's future. But if you want to leave this place, to go somewhere far away and have a life of your own, you have my full support. You have got everything you ever wanted. You have the right to choose to stay here, live in this time. I wouldn't dream of it. I'm not going to leave you trapped in that darkness. I will not make the same mistake twice. Regardless, there's no point in me choosing a life without you there as well in the flesh. Okay then. Well, I'll be in here waiting. Hopefully not for too long. For long. I really think Morgana and I have a great deal in common. What? One the daughter of God, one a demon child. We were both forced into inhumane roles. Living lives of solitude, constantly having things we cared about taken away from us, including, ultimately, our lives. The big difference between me and her is that I had you. If you hadn't been there at the end of my mortal life, perhaps I too would have grown to despise those who had put me through such misery. Curse their very souls. She had no one though. Not a single person to be there for her final days. From what she told us though, her life wasn't all sorrow and misery. She did eventually come to find happiness in her time at the brothel. In fact, she even said that was where she learned to experience joy. Well, I know there were a number of girls there. If Maria was one of them, she was particularly close with perhaps being here could have a positive effect on Morgana. I don't know why I got stuck there. We'll have to see what she says tomorrow night. That we will. And then our time limit is noon the next day, so we'll need to have everything necessary figured out by then. Everything it will take for her to have a change of heart. I'm not worried one bit. I have complete confidence in you, Michelle. I am somewhat worried. What's there to be worried about? Here I'll shout, you can do it 100 times. So you're planning to cheer me to death? I just want every last bit of you to know I'm rooting for you. I assure you, you've made that abundantly clear. Hey, there's something I want to tell you if that's alright. Yes? When I learned about your past and about your body, it came as a big shock to me. That said, I'm confident you know that my feelings for you haven't changed one bit. I do. But what I want you to know is that even if I had found out back then, instead of after having waited hundreds of years for you to return, my feelings still would not have changed. If you had told me while you were alive, I would have still accepted you. Now, of course, I know it's not something you could have come out with so easily, especially considering everything you went through because of it. We only lived together for a little over a year, and we were only partners for a month, so I understand how difficult it would have been to think I wouldn't push you away. But I'm not sure you grasp just how much I loved you, even then. My wounds ran deeper than even I knew, and them fully healing was simply not possible. Anyone else touch, anyone else warmth, my heart and body would have rejected. I sincerely wish I had expressed that to you more clearly. That it had to be you, that I needed you. I did believe at the time that I could start over with you, that we could have a normal life together. Or well, I fooled myself into believing it, but I could never rid myself of the guilt and shame at how it was impossible for me to give that to you. I would imagine our future together. You, smiling with our children in your arms, playing with them, scolding them, teaching them. And then I would remember, I'm incapable of giving you those children, or even engaging in the prerequisite acts. And the more I wish for your happiness, the tighter that guilt constricted me. I do apologize for not saying anything. You carried far more weight than any one person should have ever carried alone. But you don't have to do that anymore. For one, I'll support you, no matter what. And in this time, you're normal to everyone, not only me. You have allies. You don't have to take everything on yourself anymore. I love you, Michelle. I do. I absolutely adore you. Where is this coming from? I want to say it, so I did. Is that a problem? No, no problem. You're blushing, aren't you? Your cheeks as red as tomatoes. Ah, I wish I could see you now. I'm going to open the window. Why? It's night. It's going to be cold. Exactly. I need to cool down. Ah, what are you eyeing at? It's a spring snow. It's gorgeous. There was hardly a cloud when I was outside earlier, and now it's snowing. Are you worried Maria might catch something out in this weather? Hopefully. She's in bed by now. I've never seen it snow in the spring before. Maybe I just wasn't paying any attention to what lay beyond the dark walls of that house. Maybe. Have you? Have I? Seen a springtime snow before? 3 or 4 times, perhaps. So, not very often, no. Ah, so you've seen this already. Would it have been better if I hadn't? No, that's not what I'm saying. I just thought it would be nice if it was the first time for the both of us. Ah, you sound like a little kid. Is that childish? Well, I don't mind either way. I'm still glad my first time seeing it isn't alone. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Little specks of white drifting through the darkness? Yes, I can see it. It's beautiful. I'm happy I can see this with you too. Oh, you don't want the wind to cool you off too much now. I think it's time for you to warm back up. Sorry, I was so engrossed by the sight. Maybe it'll stick and you can see it again tomorrow. The grounds will be quite lovely covered in snow. But for now, you should get some sleep. I suppose. You're already passed out once today. You need to make sure you're well rested. Hard to argue with that. I'll be counting on your help again tomorrow. Our success or failure depends on how tomorrow goes. That it does. Let's make it count. Good night, Giselle. Good night, Michelle. Huh? Okay, whoa. Something's happening. With Giselle. Something's off. 1 day until her death. And that will be all for today's video. And man, what a video this was. We actually managed to squeeze the entire second day into one session. Even though this session was longer than the rest, I believe the second day was actually shorter because I remember the first day was so long. It took me actually, I believe, 3 hours to complete. Even more than that, possibly. So yeah, finishing this one just right under 2 hours. It clearly is shorter, but man, we got a lot of information. It was a really good one. And also, I apologize if some of you wanted to see that dead-end ending. I didn't feel like it was too important. Nothing informative was happening there. It was exactly as I summarized. So I didn't think I need to feature it here because it's just like a waste of 20 minutes, in my opinion at least. But if you want to see stuff like that, make sure to let me know in the comments below. I didn't feel like it was too important. But again, that's exactly why I say before making any decision, because for some reason I always take the wrong one. But yeah, I guess that's all for now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.